What does a health content writer do? In this video, we're going to take a look and answer that question. Hi, my name is Josh. I'm the founder of Technical Writer HQ, and I have over 10 years of technical writing experience. And we're going to go ahead and jump into the role description for a health content writer. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and thumbs up this video. That way you can get notified whenever we come out with great content about writing and technical writing specifically from real technical writing experts. Now let's go ahead and jump right in. Health content writing is writing about things like diet, lifestyle, well-being, socioeconomic factors, as well as treating and preventing symptoms and diseases and simplifying them to a level that the general public understands. The thing to note here is how it differs from medical writing. Medical writing is a type of technical writing that uses jargon and difficult medical terminologies intended towards an audience of medical professionals, academics, and researchers. So we're talking about a whole new level of audience when it comes to medical writing. Health content writing is more for the lay person and aims to benefit them in terms of their health. Let's take a look at a real life example that may come to your head when you think of a health content writer. So we have website A, which publishes health related content that benefits the general public as it informs them about their health and how to improve it day in and day out. So Winston visits website A to look for a diet suitable for type 2 diabetic patients. As a result of his search, he finds a blog post titled 7 Foods to Eat for People with Type 2 Diabetes. This article proves to be useful for Winston as he gets to know some nutritious foods to make his life easier. And there we have it, a real life situation where a health writer provides benefit to people suffering from diseases and health conditions. Let's take a look at what health content writing looks like. This is one example text of how you should attempt your next health blog post. This particular blog post is titled 7 Easy Ways to Preserve Food. No canning required. Similarly, you can find landing pages, SEO and web copywriting samples, branding copies, business and patient newsletter samples for health content writing. So health content writing really goes across many different types of distribution channels. Their purpose is to educate you on your general health and suggest ways to tackle health conditions. Now let's take a look at the types of health content that you as a writer can attempt to write. You may write news for the general public, feature articles, again for the general public, and website content, blogs, copywriting, brochures, media releases, patient information, product information, and much more. That being said, there's work cut out for you before you even step into this career. Health content writing, like any other type of technical writing, has to follow certain stylistic and structural rules. One of them is to keep it free from redundancy. Now, how do we achieve that? You must cut out words that say the same thing using synonyms, and also cut out anything that appears to be a double negative. Just a quick warning here, do not cut out words or phrases that make useful distinctions. For example, we offer efficient and proven methods. Do not simply paraphrase statements either. The expression in other words usually indicates redundancy. Instead, add value, define terms, give examples, present analogies, and draw pictures to help people better understand what you're presenting. You'll notice that a lot of health content has illustrations about different parts of the body to help people understand how to benefit from the said information. Here are some examples to make the concept of redundancy more understandable as well. So we have number 1, the poor version of the sentence. His suit of clothes is a gray color. The good version of this sentence will be his suit is gray. And then let's take a look at another poor example. In the month of June, Mayo Clinic reported the same COVID mortality rate as in the month of May. The good version, in June, Mayo Clinic reported the same COVID mortality rate as in May. Now we have number 3, poor example. Please approve and accept our offer. Let's make it good. Please accept our offer. And that's how we shorten sentences that are unnecessarily long. Just like it is important to remove redundancy from your health writing, it's crucial to cut phrases already understood from the context. You must cut overly formal courtesies. Just a quick warning here, do not cut meaningful qualifiers. For example, when properly used with a seatbelt, airbags save lives. And we have the following good and poor examples to explain it more comprehensively. So number one, for example, the purpose of this memo is to review the employee health plan. Let's make it good. This memo reviews the employee health plan. 2, for example, therefore the question often arises, who is most qualified? The good version of this is, who is most qualified? And that is how you separate phrases already understood from the context. Moreover, choose nouns and verbs carefully to convey precise meaning and intensity. If the noun or verb needs help, use concrete and specific modifiers. Cut abstract and general modifiers, and a quick warning, do not intensify nouns or verbs with vague modifiers. Avoid words such as very, great, extreme, various, and several. Here are some examples to back up my statement. Have a look at the poor and good sentence structures and practice using the good ones. So number one, we have the poor one. We must solve this very difficult problem. Let's make it good. We must solve this difficult problem. 2, we have Miss Jones very carefully read our health reports. Now let's make that good. Miss Jones scrutinized our health reports. So remember to add transition words in your writing. If you are a writer, you probably know this, but if you are just starting, please memorize this rule. What are transition words? They give a clue to the reader that you're moving to the next idea or major point. There are many useful transition words, and sometimes we'll repeat ourselves. For example, we often say in conclusion towards the end of a blog post. Every now and then there's a word choice issue. Does A cause B, or does A just happen to occur before B? If I see although and while, half the time they use the word while, you actually mean although. And half the time you use since, you really meant because. Most of you were taught to never begin a sentence with because. That's not true. You can do this. We were taught to not use the word because, so instead we use the word since. That's not right. And be careful with the word once, as it means you do it only once. Use transition words when you want to tell the reader if the next point or detail progresses, recalls, reinforces, or contradicts the previous point or detail. Because transition words provide the reader a clue to where the point or detail leads, put the transition at the beginning of the sentence or clause. Now, a quick warning here, do not cut transition words. They are not deadwood. Do not use this means or it means true transition. Also, make sure not to fall for this error trap. Remember, you can highlight good organization by editing, but you cannot improve poor organization by editing. If you are straining to find the right transition words, chances are the points are irrelevant, redundant, or simply poorly sequenced. Here are a couple of transition words you can use to link to sentence A with sentence B. When you are progressing a sentence into another, please use therefore, first, second, next, and consequently. Subsequently, then, and because. When you want to recall the previous sentence in the next, you may use aforementioned, previously, earlier, as mentioned, remember, formerly, and before. When you're about to reinforce a previous sentence in the next, you may use, for example, for instance, in addition, overall, in summary, moreover, and specifically. And the last thing here, when you want to contradict in the next sentence, you may use although, however, on the other hand, nevertheless, in contrast, despite, and regardless. I'm sure these tips and tricks are going to help you a lot with your health content writing, because these are fundamental parts of all technical writing. And when I use the term health writing in this article, I'm looking at it as a large category of writing related to general health and well-being. It's often public-facing content and could be anything from wellness writing to fitness and lifestyle writing, as we mentioned before. We aren't going to talk about medical writing that is primarily professional-facing, content aimed at clinicians, researchers, scientists, and other professionals. And we also have the segment of where it's aimed at patients. Instead, we're going to focus on the health writing and not to confuse the two. If you are already a medical professional, the path to become a health writer may be slightly different for you if you were a journalist or a professional writer without specialized health knowledge. Nevertheless, we'll take you through the steps to become a health writer from a perspective that everyone can relate to. So we have step number 1, get the necessary education. To be considered for a health writing position or a freelance gig, you typically need to have at least a 4-year bachelor's degree. This can be in any area of study, but it is often helpful if it is in the sciences or language arts, as they have knowledge bases that are directly transferable to health writing. So for example here, if you study nutrition, If you have an associate degree in the medical field, that might be a sufficient way to open the door into health writing, especially if you have any practical experience to back it up. If you are a physician or registered nurse, then you have already met the educational requirements and can just skip to the next step. Oftentimes, it's simply not the case for most health writers though. For the rest of us, a bachelor's degree in any area that can really get us a head start is going to help us a lot in becoming a health writer. And the second step to becoming a health content writer is to strengthen your weak areas. If you're approaching health writing from a path that's not aligned with a medical path, you may already have the necessary writing skills, but lack the scientific knowledge required. If that's the case, it's crucial that you give yourself a basic grounding in medicine, particularly medical terminology, for the industry vertical that you want to go into. So if you want to write about diet, then again, study nutrition. If you intend to write public-facing content, you still need to understand and correctly interpret the professional language that you'll encounter while researching the content that you write. So if you're looking to write about celiac disease, you need to know all the terms around celiac disease. So step number 3, update your resume. Your resume should reflect both your knowledge of healthcare and your skills in writing. If you're a layperson just starting out in health writing, this can be a little tricky at first. Nevertheless, even if you don't have much experience, you can list any trainings that you are part of with regards to health writing and medical terminology, and make sure that your resume focuses on the impact that you provided. So number of documents that you produced, number of people who read them, and what terminology they were focused on, and make sure to not include your objective at the top either, because your resume is already a summary of your work. You don't need a summary of a summary. And make sure to also link to your professional or scientific writing samples if you already have some. And it's very easy to create them. You can just start a blog, write on a site like Medium, and just begin publishing. And make sure to link to any content that you've also gotten into any medical journals or any other types of publications. That will help you a great deal. Now we come to the 4th step of becoming a health content writer, which is to join a professional organization and get credentialed. Becoming a member of a professional organization such as American Medical Writers Association, or even the one that I own, Technical Writer HQ, can open a lot of doors for you. It shows that you have met or exceeded a baseline set of standards for qualifications in your chosen area. Membership in a professional organization may also give you access to exclusive job search resources if you are already a healthcare provider. Or if you already work in healthcare to some extent, you are likely a credentialed member of a professional organization. However, if you are serious about health content writing, you may want to consider becoming a member of AMWA, or again, a similar organization to take advantage of the specific benefits that they offer. And then we have establish your online footprint. Certifications and professional organization memberships are important ways to get ahead. However, in the information age, credibility also comes with a significant online presence. If you do not have a portfolio online, then it's going to be hard to get people to be interested in hiring you if they can't see what you've written before. So if you're planning on writing content for a web publication, it's important to show that you're capable of doing so. Moreover, that you're technically competent to be able to create a portfolio online. When you start seeking health writing jobs, you usually have to showcase some type of work. And you can look for different areas you want to write about, do your research, add it to your portfolio, and make sure it's a diverse set. So it's not just a blog post, but add other types of information like tutorials, maybe even an ebook. Those type of things will help you really stand out. And then also show that you're good at building relationships, that you are able to write guest posts. And that will help show that you can demonstrate your writing skills online well enough for people to acknowledge and be receptive to them. And the last step of becoming a health writer is to build your network. You can start with the connections you already know, read blogs related to health and medicine, and get in touch with the authors about the possibility of becoming a guest contributor. Moreover, social media platforms like Upwork offer a lot of opportunities for those who are just trying to get started and are persistent and don't give up searching for clients. There are many opportunities for writers to write for news and lifestyle websites, magazines, health websites, health blogs, health-related brand and businesses, and other types of health professional websites. Moreover, fitness and lifestyle blogs are booming. So there are many different ways for you to get your foot into the industry and to grow. And as a writer, you need many tools to function at your highest potential. So Google Docs, Scribbler are two of these tools. They both help you with your work online, and when you're working or writing articles, you can share with them to your client or employer by clicking a few buttons. If you're looking for something more advanced, I recommend Scribbler because it has project management features for your writing. I'm also the founder of that company, so just a quick note there. And both Google Docs and Scribbler provide accessibility, version control, workplace collaboration. They're easy to learn, free to get started, and they have import and export functionality and flexibility. So if you go down this route as a health content writer, you can earn up to an average salary of $74,000 per year. So not bad as a writer. And there we have it. We just finished discussing the role of a health content writer. I want to thank you for watching this video. And again, my name is Josh. I'm the founder of Technical Writer HQ, and I help people break into technical writing. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and like the video so you can keep updated with all the different content that we come out on our channel to help you become a great technical writer. And I wish you the best in your career journey, and I'll see you on some of our other videos. Cheers.